We have a big weekend for us here at St. John's, and of course a big Sunday as the high point of it. This weekend is the third three-choir festival, a lot of threes there, where we'll be joining forces with the treble choir, the kids from Christ Episcopal Church in Charlotte and All Souls Episcopal Cathedral in Asheville. We did this several years ago. The first one was in Asheville, and then the next year our hosts in 2020 were the good people in Charlotte. And then, of course, as we're used to in every aspect of our life, the pandemic intervened and we didn't have it for a couple of years. So we're finally able to have our third one where we are going to play hosts. So we have a long Saturday of activities, rehearsals, as well as fun games and a chance to go out to urban air and have pizza together. So we'll have a lot of activities for our guests from North Carolina as well as our own treble choir. And then on Sunday, all of that rehearsal and preparation will really point to a celebratory festival Eucharist at the 10:30 service. So we'll still have our 8 o'clock chapel Eucharist, Rite 1. If that sounds like it's going to be a little bit too much for you at 10:30, we invite you to come in a simpler way, to worship in a simpler way in the chapel. But the 10:30 service is going to be really a fantastic time of liturgy as well as worship. We will have a baptism, and it's the last Sunday after the Feast of the Epiphany as we look forward towards Ash Wednesday, this coming Wednesday. So we have a lot of things going on there as we celebrate sort of the end of the season, the end of a time where we're celebrating Christ as the light of the world. And of course, every year, that last Sunday after Epiphany, we have the reading of the Transfiguration, seeing Christ as filled with light, as the light of the world, one of the most dazzling and really arresting images that we have of Christ from the Gospels. So I would call a special attention as you worship, as you prepare yourself for worship. Our opening hymn will be hymn number 135, Songs of Thankfulness and Praise. And it goes through in 4 very succinct verses. It goes through the entire season after Epiphany, talking about the miracles, about the healing, the teaching, and then finally touching just a bit on the Transfiguration in very poetic terms, but in a way that really culminates the whole season in a tune that's very easy to sing. One of the things that we'll be doing that's a little bit different because of the festival Eucharist, the choir will sing the Gloria in Excelsis at the beginning of the service, right after that hymn, and the choir will also sing the Sanctus. And those two pieces are out of a communion service by Harold Dark. You might recognize the name of Harold Dark. He was a very prolific composer, but we know him most for his very beautiful and popular setting of In the Bleak Midwinter. That's a sort of a seasonal favorite at Christmas time. This is a service that he wrote for the King's College Choir in Cambridge, and following that tradition, it is known by its Latin title of King's College, the Collegium Regale. And it's an energetic Gloria with full of a very vibrant organ accompaniment, and the voices shout out, "Glory be to God on high, and in earth peace and goodwill to all." And you'll hear the full choir, with especially the treble voices, singing that out with really full of excitement and full of joy. It starts off with these majestic chords as it prepares for the entrance of the voices. And then the full choir comes in with glory. And it goes through that whole canticle with that same kind of force and vigor. As I say, the choir will sing the Gloria in Excelsis and the Sanctus. They'll also be singing a couple of really special anthems. And then we also, at the opposite end of the day, in the afternoon, we have evensong. And the assistant organist from Charlotte, from Christ Church in Charlotte, will be our prelude recitalist, Jarrett Caravagno. He has a wonderful program prepared for us. And then we have a beautiful evensong with our own cathedral choir starting at 4:45. So again, lots going on, lots of opportunities to worship and to have fellowship, to see our kids celebrating. So we really hope that you will join us here in person or online as we worship and celebrate the last Sunday after Epiphany.